Hi there, everyone. How are you doing? If you're watching, leave us a message. Say hello. We're getting stuck into this Virtuslo Runda 57k this week. A little bit shorter than last week's. A bit more climbing this week. Not quite sure how I'm going to go. It was pretty hard yesterday in the Swift Racing League, and also got the Echelon race this weekend, which is a bit of a monster. The Tour de Gila 74k, 1200 metre of climbing. That's coming up on Saturday evening UK time, 6 p.m. So we'll be streaming that. So I'll not sure I'll finish this race today, but I just don't want to wear myself out too much. Don't want to be too fatigued. But I still want to get a bit of a session in. Almost long race. Probably just about an hour's ride. And we're off. Get the person can. We'll go off and running. Try and slot into this pack initially, I think. Pretty popular races now. Offer something a bit different. 57k, it's a longer one. And the longest, well, it's the longest weekly event on RGT. I think it's fair to say. 87 riders, pretty well attended. I'm just going to try and sit in the back, fly along. Looks like it's pretty flat for the first 10k, then a small bump, then a medium bump, then a big bump, downhill finish. A tiny little bump now. There's a pretty big club, Virtuslo. They're a real world club, and they're also doing a 7-day event during Christmas and New Year. 7 stages. Details of that on the Discord channel. And also on the Facebook users group. A little bit of a split there. Going back together though. Tag on the back. There is also a live question and answer session with RGT today in just under an hour's time, 6 p.m. UK time. I'm going to tune into that, see what they've got to say. We hear about some of their plans for the next 3 months, 6 months, year or so. Maybe find out about some upcoming new releases. They are pretty good with the number of updates. They've got a few regulars in this race. It's Mike Wyatt on the front then, from Restart Racing. Al Blackburn, his teammate. A lot of the regular crowd. Do send me a chat message so I can see you watching. Ask me some questions about RGT. We're ticking over for the first 10k or so. If that's keeping me occupied, right away, it will show up in game on the stream anyway. Description in there. That green kit just at the bottom right of the screen. Who's last week's winner? Final experience of 9 or 10 riders. Nice good position on that corner there. I'm not really looking to do any work in this event. Not initially anyway. Let's sit on that raft. Happy to be pulled along. We get to back. Make sure you don't panic if that's happening. So use it back up into the back of the pack. Easy to over egg it and then big flying up the front. That's a big pack. Still 40 odd riders here. Hasn't too trouble so far. Cheers, Nick. Yeah, here's a long one. But preparing me for Echelon at the weekend. Like 74k, twice as much climbing as this one. Probably won't race this one hard to the end. It'll be a good 90-minute workout. Get some distance in the legs, keep them spinning. Have a roundabout. They really stretch things out the roundabouts. It's not very natural the way the peloton go round. When I've been making the time trial courses, I have been essentially deleting them. You just go straight over. It's a bit easier to ride. See if I can just get my Facebook set up in the background. And I might be able to do the live stream, live Q&A on the broadcast. Focus now though. Get them coming up. Go to this first climb. Bit of a breakaway up the front. Might stretch it out. Back's a bit big for going up the front on your own. Might be easy to get wheeled back in. Especially on the flatter lands. I'll roll up in a minute when we get the climb. Didn't look very long. A bit steeper in the middle. 5% for 1.8k. This is the average though. Try and sit in here. Cruise up. That grass saving will disappear pretty quick. Lots of red numbers on the left there. There we go, on the pack. Let's open it up. 15. A couple up the road. That's any tactics by Blackburn and Swart. Go to the same team. Good little tactic. Hopefully we can catch them on the descent. We've got the numbers. Oh, it isn't too bad. No panic stations. I've got a feeling I did part of this route last week. That last little bit of climbing was a bit familiar. I know that these are all based on real routes around the Virtually Slow club riding area. Oh yeah, it's going to be 2 hours for Cat 1, 3 hours I guess for Cat 3 maybe, Cat 4 on Saturday. The first 50k is not too bad. Gently uphill and then gently downhill. The pack numbers should help. But the last third of the race is 800 metres of climbing and 25k I think. Starting with a 400 metre climb. Done a bit of recon, done a few rides. Definitely going to be challenging. That's part of the fun. Type 2 fun. Yeah, so up tonight thinking about hydration, nutrition. It's all going to be a factor on Saturday. Look at the scratch slowly coming back. And particularly trying to close them down. I think I'm going to be working harder, so in our benefit to leave them hanging. That one especially, they're doing a lot of work on the front 4. Front 4, what's the kilo? I'm cruising at 2 to 3, just holding them steady, rotating, taking turns. So this is quite similar to what we've got at the weekend, a bit of a slow uphill drag. But that has an effect on the draft. one or two people looking just to up the power a little bit, maybe this little bump. So this is the course for the weekend. 16 miles, slightly uphill, bit of downhill, and that 28 to 31 mile bit. That's where we've got the main climb. But then if you go up after that, I think it's about 38 miles. And a bit of recovery. And about 3 miles to the finish. Hey, Francois. Yeah, interesting to see them pulling it out a little bit. They're working hard. I'm in no rush. This will be a lightish ride for me today. See what I get on that second bump. Coast it down. Put the third climb and then I'll certainly mix these up. Don't go too mental. I've got the team time trial as well tomorrow. 30 dishes. Team of 4. So that's the Malta course this week on the Mediterranean island. 28k. Again, slightly uphill for the first 20k, and there's a nice fast downhill and a 5k flat. It's really work the legs at the finish. Full team Racio, the GC leaders. They've been out early this week. They've set a good time. I saw one of them got an FTP boost, which is pretty impressive in a time trial, or team time trial anyway. I'm sure the promotion train will be trying to give them a good run for their money. Share Beast up there as well, and Team Blue, and the TTTTTTT team. I don't know how many T's it is. There's a lot. They're all competitive teams. And there's a real good battle in the midfield as well. So at least going out, approaching 300 meters now. They're working hard for it, but 4 and 5 watts a kilo. Still a long way to go. 40k. Which is maybe one of the things about RGT and online racing in general. Quite hard to get a pack working together. If you're prepared to gamble and go off the front and work hard, the 2 or 3 of you all taking turns, keep the speed up. Exactly, that could all come back quite easily on either of those climbs, thanks a lot. It's good though. It's good to see a breakaway actually pulling off the front. That's unusual for an e-race. But when you've got a nice long race like this, it means people are a little bit more obliging about letting you go. This is when we need a moto cam up on the leaders. See what they're up to. See if they're getting tired. For that, I'm on the front now, just come through. But jury's off the front. 2.8, 2.9 now for me. No one's driving. That gap's just going to keep going and going. If I can just play around with the cameras. See what's happening. I got drone shot. Good for seeing the jerseys. So I know Blackburn's racing on this weekend on the Echelon races signed up. Yeah, three is a good number. Still work together. People still know to take turns. But we're in a group of 13. Just rotates a bit too much at the front. No one wants to drive. But we've still got 50 minutes of racing. And those see good tyre. A long way to race at 4.5 watts a kilo. That's without the hills. Have a little bump. Sees that speed. Pretty speed. Does look like Blackburn's doing most of the work. Can't see much of. No idea how you fix that loves on the front. Pretty much all Blackburn. Gonna do flicking the elbow. Certainly not leaving up from enticing past. Not dropping below 4. we're not going over for. Now I'm sure it'll get a bit more spicy when I get to that hill. It's that kilometre away. I see some people try and bridge across. Let's see, one further fall off the back. That's 10 metres of climbing, that's about a third of all the climbing for this race. Still a good amount to go yet. That third big hill, just after halfway, that's really going to mix it up. That's a good 200 metres climbing. Get steep and steeper the whole way. Yeah, very far it's up right, just get steeper and steeper as we go up. Let's get up and over. Come on. That's going away. Come on. Not that hard. I think I'm just about on. Oh, nice. Going up the road. And then continue the original break. Oh, that was a big push. Now they got back on. After 2 up the road. And they're pushing on red numbers. Well, I can see 3 on the screen. Only 2 on the leaderboard. Definitely a phantom rider there. Maybe I can put it to the team in the live Q&A. But I'm trying to have a little break. I think it was about 300 metres to that front pair. They reached the top of that climb. I've just gone back out as we attended earlier than that. If they start that second climb, the next time you just to see how close we are. Back over the next time then. Before I tap out, cruise at home. Not going to overdo it today. I think a solid 40 minutes. With decent little climbs. Don't worry about that fatigue. Take one of these Totem Sport packets, hypertonic liquids. Finish my salts. Now lost electrolytes. Give like a little shot of goodness. Good for help with the recovery. Make sure you don't cramp. Well, I'm just going to be cruising now. So working my way up to the echelon race this weekend. Cat one race. There'll be quite a few of the invitational guys from the Pro Series are also riding it. There will be a fast pace again. Top 10 who haven't already qualified will go through the Pro event next weekend, which is 3 stages. Don't forget there's a live Q&A with RGT in 15 minutes. We'll be on Facebook. Steve Happy here. I'll post the link for you in the live stream. so that you have it. Q&A. RGT. 6 p.m. GMT, that's 15 minutes time. But I will try and load that up on here and work out how to do it. This might be a little bit funny in a minute. There we go. That's weird. I need to log in even though I'm already. It didn't work. Shame. Follow that link, go check it out. So I'm just going to be cruising now, so I won't be much to see. No, it's still not going to work. That's a shame. I'm just slipping down the rankings now. That's okay. I'm in no rush. What I will do is I will turn off my audio. We turn off the desktop audio, so you might be able to hear the Q&A if you can stick around. You're watching. We're down to 200 metres now between second and third. Front two slowly being reeled in. Cops and Jury, they're good riders. Strong riders. Around there putting out 6. One's in front putting out 5. Those ones at the front a little bit. Here we are at the front of the race then, which we loves. See Blackburn just behind, 30 metres. Jury and Cops just behind him, another 50 metres back. And that original bunch, it's fragmented a bit. Steep slopes here, 11%. We'll come up to the crest of this third big climb, mostly downhill to the finish. Third and fourth, Jury and Cops, so they're going to bring it back together. If they can get these four into a little group, into that downhill, they're going to have a good chance of staying away. If they don't tire, it's been a long, solid 50 minutes so far. Tough effort by these guys, keeping that power on. There we go, over the top, race leader. Blackburn, Jury and Cops coming together just at the summit. There they are, the three of them. In their interest to work together. See if they can catch those. Yeah, they're closing 40 metres now. Doing this next little bump. Before then it will come back together between these four. And then next one, just coming up to the summit there, you've got B. Jones, the company, and the remnants of the group just back behind that. There we go, the catch is made. Four of them now. Imagine they'll be working together. So even at 22 kilometres to go, you put your money on these four now. Got a good gap over the chase, which is completely fragmented after that third climb. Got the benefit of the downhill. Speed is right up, 60k an hour. seem to be working well together, these four, taking turns on the front. That's a big attack there. New short hill. Yeah, big numbers, all in the red. Oh, strong attack that. Costa's gone right off the front, Blackburn's been dropped. Oh no, disaster for Blackburn. 30 metres off the back now. All those earlier efforts come home to roost. But I'd say I'd struggle to come back from 50 metres back. Still pumping out 4 watts though. Not doing in just yet. Got a chance of these 3 settle a little bit. And around 3.5 before that one's still just above, look, 40 metres. Where is he? There he is. Under 30 metres. He's coming back. Oh, but Nobbs has gone at 5.5 for 6 off the front. Not going to let it be easy for him. 2. Little dash off the front. That one's almost back. But again, they go. Long way out to be playing games. Blackburn slipped back to 45, 50 metres again, within that pain dangle zone. It's out to 60, he's dropped below 4 as the elastic snapped. Yeah, looks like he's gone 100 metres back now. Good effort by Blackburn. Strong ride. Maybe he doesn't ride quite too strongly at the weekend. I have to face him in the echelon race. So we're swapping in a minute to the RGT live Facebook. I'll leave his front 3 on in the background. I'm going to put my money on Cox was strong last week, but I think Jury. There we go. That's where I'll put my money. Mike, what do you do?
I probably have spoken to all of our user base through email or bug that they've submitted. So I handle all that communication aspect of the business. So if you're upset at anybody, I'd be the first one. The first one to give a background.
All right, thank you. Brilliant. So just a very quick overview of what it is that we're doing and why we're doing it. So this is an Ask Us Anything session. It's an opportunity for all of our users to come together, understand what it is that RGT is all about, maybe ask us some technical questions, understand some technical decisions that we might have made and the reasons that we're doing specific things. We want to bring everyone together. We want to put a face behind the product and the product manufacturer or the developers. And at some point throughout the series, we're going to bring in developers, bring in artists, graphic designers, and we'll have the whole team, and you'll have the opportunity to speak to us all. This stands to be an ongoing thing. There's no deadline for it to finish. We just want to, I guess, give our users the opportunity to talk to us face to face, and the easiest way to do it is using this live stream feature. So I can see we've got quite a few users joining us already. Good evening. The first question is, are we working on a helicopter? No. But we do have a spectate view. If we want to talk about this, we've got a spectate view that we should be launching quite soon, which will give users the opportunity to zoom out all the way from their avatar and circle it and have a look around it. So yeah, we are working on your helicopter. There's no deadline.
Good question.
Yeah, good question. There's no deadline for when that will launch. We did have some questions before the session started, so I think we're going to start off with some of those questions first. Mike, did you want to pick one?
I guess some users asked if we do support compute trainers. I guess this comes up for support quite often. And the straight answer is no, we do not directly support compute trainers, but we do have a link that we can share, and it's a third-party app that you can connect to and use your compute trainer via Ant signal, and it is compatible. It will make it compatible with RGT, but we don't fully support that app, so it's all on you to sort of figure out, and it is in our help docs. There, we can share the link in the chat.
Yeah, we should be able to share the link in the chat, so we can respond to this chat on the right hand side. So if you've got a help article link that you want to share with the chat, please, yeah, just drop it in there. It should work. Okay. So is that a mobile app, or is it a computer app? Is it a mobile phone app?
The app, the third-party app, gets installed on Windows, and I'm not sure if it's supported on Mac, but I know for sure it's on Windows.
Okay, so it's not a mobile app. So the short answer is we do support it, but the long answer is you need a third-party plugin to make it work. Cool.
PerfProStudio.com.
PerfProStudio.com. Okay, yeah, I know that. That's a product used in the fitness space by gyms. Somebody called Joris J. Schwerps asked us, where is the apparel? That's a good question. If you go to the Facebook...
Joris has been a lot of RGT. He's been sending a lot of emails, so that's great. And he's requested this a few times through the support channel. So here we go, Joris.
We have it. So we're working in partnership with BioRacer at the moment to launch our second kit order. We're not in a position to buy stock. It's not what our business does. We don't trade in kit, but BioRacer do. And if you go to the RGT Cycling user group or keep your eyes on the RGT Cycling Facebook page or Instagram page, you will see us posting details of how to order the kit. It's actually the RGT Founders Kit. And it will be the last time that we make this kit available for people to own. And then we're going to start. So next time we do another kit, we'll do another design. We want to keep the Founders Kit quite close to the founders, so our early adopters, the user base that is currently with us, in the hope that one day it'll be quite a desirable kit to wear. And as a little side note, we probably plan to make the Founders Kit
exclusive to those users that join us before Christmas, and then we'll probably move it and make it so only if you have you've worked with, only if you've been a long-term member of RGT will you be able to have the kit. So next question, there's lots of stuff coming into the chat. Let's have a look. Should we go for, why do you have 2 apps? This is the most common question that we get asked, and it's a bit of a beast. It might take a while to get through, but I'll take that one up. Mike, do you mind if I take that one up?
Yeah, go. I prefer you do all the talking and I just hear fill in the blank spots. I'm just here for the face.
Go grab a beer.
Yeah.
So the 2 app system, there's a few things that were around the decision of moving towards a 2 app system. The first one is cloud-based computing. So stick with me. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. But there's a product called Google Stadia, which is essentially computing in the cloud, right? So not just storage in the cloud. You don't just get your files from the cloud and download them and work on them, but actually computing in the cloud. So the high power required to run a high-end video game isn't required locally in the room with you like a PlayStation or an Xbox, but it happens in a cloud network miles away on a server. And all you need to control it is a connection to that server. So you can stream really high quality footage down to your computer without the need to have a really high quality computer. In order to have that, the idea was it would be available on products like Google Stadia, which just needs a Chromecast or a smart TV. At the point you have only a smart TV, then you've got no way of controlling RGT cycling as an app. So the big idea is that you will use your phone app to control the screen app, and the screen app is hosted in the cloud. So that was the first idea, and it's a really cool idea. It would mean that everybody could experience really high-end gaming, like beyond what you normally have access to. Always have an up-to-date computer without needing to buy a new one, and you wouldn't need to pay any more for it. It would be available. It would be part of the RGT product. It's not as easy as perhaps we hoped or envisaged it would be at the start, and we're still working on that product. There were other reasons. So the other reason that comes to mind is RGT. We wanted to be with our users and audiences wherever they went. So the companion app or the companion app or the mobile app would be with you. So if you climbed the Stelvio in real life, for example, it would say, you'd get a notification saying, well done, now go back and try it on RGT cycling. Or if you were in a bike shop and you like the look of a new helmet, you scan the barcode with the mobile app, and then when you got back to RGT cycling and opened your kit locker, boom, there's your helmet. So it was something that we wanted always to be with our users and develop, like a social network with it, not be a social network, but develop some social networking tools. So you always had access to RGT cycling. I think the disconnect we made with that is it shouldn't be essential for it to always be with you, and you should be able to make that choice whether you need to use it or not. And the 2-app system should be optional as well. So we've had some feedback from this, quite a lot, and it's quite right that the question has been asked. Yeah, Mike's demonstrating how much feedback we've had. And we have made the decision to make the app available on a 1-app system, and we're currently going through the process of working towards a 1-app system, but that will also be a hybrid where we still plan to go for a computing in the cloud sort of high-end gaming product at the same time, so you can still host it on a Chromecast or something like that. Excuse me. So that is why it's a really big topic, and we could talk about it in more detail, but I'm not going to. There was all sorts of ideas like augmented reality, so you could click on a bike from Canyon and you could walk around the bike, and it would pop up a bike in augmented reality on your kitchen table or in your garage, so you could have a really close look at it. There was all sorts of big ideas for what the mobile app could do and probably should do. I mean, if we're being honest, if we had significant investment in the product, then that's where we'd be. We'd be at something that would enable us to do that. That's not where we are today, but lots of fun things could come from a 2-app system.
But we're listening. We are listening, and we're taking all your feedback. So keep it coming, and we appreciate it. And just give us the time. Another thing, James, that sometimes I have a problem, not a problem really, but if you can talk about the size of the team that we have at RGT, let everybody know, you know, geographically kind of where we are. Maybe that would be helpful.
Yeah, so
because we're what I'm trying to get to is we're really proud of what we've built so far, given the resources that we have, and it's something that I'm trying to I'm personally proud of. We all are, of course.
I get that. I think building on that, we all joined RGT because we're either mad keen cyclists or gamers, and it's a passion project. I'm based in the UK, about 20 miles north of Lincoln. Near a town called Bawtry, which I doubt many people have ever heard of. Mike is, where are you based?
Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. There you go. He's got a weird looking spoon.
It's not a spoon, it's a mini canoe paddle. You don't understand. You people just don't.
Our head office is, sorry. Our head offices, and I put head offices in those horrible little things, we're based in Bucharest, a really cool little makerspace. Well, it's a big makerspace, actually. Communal working spaces. We've got our own office in this communal working space, which is it's a really cool place to go and visit and work. Obviously, that's not happened for any of us for a long time because of COVID. Our lead technical director is based in France, just outside of Paris.
Here's Matt.
But yeah, hey, Matt. John, by the way, a lot of you probably know John, by the way, our community manager. He's based down in Bournemouth, I think, or Brighton, one of the two. Commercial director, Bruce Sandell, formerly of Rouleur magazine. He's based in Surrey. So we're all over. We are disparately located. And just going back to what Mike said about how the business was created and formed, we're all here for the love of what we're doing. There's no, I think there's any airs and graces about RGT cycling. We are, we're making the best of what we can right now, and we're really proud of how far the product's come along. And it is all in thanks to our user base and community for sticking with us when, you know, we scaled for COVID, and you know, we didn't have the best connectivity at that point. So we're really pleased. Let's get back on. Stop talking about us and let's get back to the questions. Play on Apple TV 4K. Mike? That's a question, I think. So that's from Dimitri Ulivieri. I think
absolutely.
He means, yeah.
Absolutely. You can install RGT screen on your Apple TV 4K. And again, currently with a companion RGT cycling app, you should be able to get up and running in no time. Up and riding in no time. I see Mike Lister. Mike Lister has asked if Mike, I think he's watching. He's asked some questions previously on the Facebook thread when we posted this link to the session. And one of it was, any plans to introduce a points race mode with a live scoreboard for each lap?
Any plans to implement a points race mode with live scoreboards for each lap? So assuming that would mean you would be awarded points per lap, and the scoreboard would tally up as the event went round. So essentially, the winner of the race wouldn't need to be the first across the line. He would need to score the most points crossing the line on each lap. We don't have plans specifically for that. And when I say we don't have plans for it, I mean it's not in the production pipeline right now. Like, it's not being worked on right now. But we do have plans for that, and it is in the long-term production pipeline. However, we do have short-term plans for two new race formats. One isn't particularly groundbreaking, I don't think. It's a time trial functionality, which you will set how often. Mike's pointing at something. Yeah, that's it.
He's got a yeah, that's it. Mike has got a follow-up question too. And are you able to allow organizers to specify whether draft is on or off when creating events, so we can set up our own time trial events?
So hold that thought from where I was going before. So what I was saying before is we're not currently working on the points per lap based system. We do plan to work on a points per lap based system, and that will be preem laps. and there will obviously be a winner of a preem event. Even if if everybody scores a point as they go around on a lap, whatever, someone will still win that, obviously. But the winner can also be the person that scores the most points. And you could probably work on a system that give more points for the final lap or more points for specific laps. It's getting a bit complicated there, and we can work on startups and stuff like that, so people just click a button and you get a points-based scoring system. So we're not working on it now, but we are going to do that. What I was going to say was, to build on that, is we will be moving forwards with a time trial system, and the time trial system will enable you to turn drafting on and off, and you will be able to turn drafting on as well. So that's really important, because we're committed to realism, and we don't want to remove drafting entirely from time trials, because in the real world you can still draft. But if an organizer wants to switch it off, then they can do. So it's your prerogative as organizers. We put the tools in your hands to create these event formats. And with the event formats, the way in which we're going to build this, we're really excited about. It's not going to be, there's your time trial mode, go away and use it. It's going to be, these are a list of parameters, click that, and it will set a time trial up for you. But you can go to advanced, and then you can turn on drafting, or you can add points for a preem section or something like that. So we're going to create new formats within racing that the community is going to decide how to engage with it and how to produce new formats. So you'll get a list of parameters, and you'll just be able to click what event type you're producing and what it does and how it races and who's going to win. And we're really excited about what that means, because it gives you, as the community and as users and riders, the first real opportunity to have some ownership of events. I mean, right now on RGT you can organize them, obviously, but we want you to be able to organize what you want to organize. So hopefully that answers your question on drafting and points. And the final part I think we should talk about right now, and this is an exclusive, we don't keep stuff under wraps RGT because we don't want you to know about what we're doing, because we're going to just launch it when we feel it's right. We keep it under wraps because we don't do things like this, and this is one of the reasons we're doing it. But we're going to do an elimination race system as well. So we're currently working on that. It's mega. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So essentially, you choose how many riders are dropped off the back on each lap. So you can choose every 3 laps, drop 1 rider, or every 2 laps, drop 5 riders. So those are just indicative numbers. You can choose what you want, but you can do elimination racing, and it's so much fun because the winner isn't necessarily always the strongest rider or those best to tackle draft. The winner will be the person that is best at doing eliminations or has a good VO2 repeat effort, because they can smash it off the front, get to the front, get across the line every time. So it'll be a different sort of racing format, and we're really excited about launching that.
Another thing that I will never win at. You guys just keep stacking them.
Another thing that you'll never win at.
Sounds like Mike is very satisfied with the answers we've provided, and I'm sure a lot of other people were waiting for this. It was a heavily requested feature. Again, we're listening. We're doing our best to bring these out as fast as we can. Unfortunately, we're not sitting around just twiddling our thumbs. We're hard at work making these happen. So it's great, good stuff. There's I kind of see in my post thread here in the chat thread, James, a few users. I just wanted to say that if we don't get to all your questions, or if you think that you want an answer to, and of course you do, submit them at support@rgtcycling.com, and I will try and get back to you if you have technical issues, etc. I know there's one from Sergio, but it's scrolled out of view for, which is more of a technical related question. If you guys email me, support@rgtcycling.com, and I will do my best to answer those for you. And we apologize if we missed and we can't get to all of them, but I will definitely get it in the queue on my support inbox. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, this is why Mike's here, because when we introduced Mike, we introduced him as all sorts of different names. The Indiana Jones of archaeology. That's what Mike is to RGT support. He's a living legend. So I'm sure we will get back to as many of you as you want. So next up, we've got Chris Franklin. I feel like first-time caller, long-time listener. I feel like a bit of a radio show presenter. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with this. But Chris asked, can we do custom workouts? Yes, a really short answer to that. We currently have a integration with Training Peaks. So you need a free Training Peaks account, and any ZWO, MRC, ERG, or fit file that you've got, if you build it in, or you can do two things. One, you can build it in the Training Peaks calendar, and if you've got the sync set up, it will appear as your workout of the day, and you can see the next 5 or 7 days worth of training structured workouts that you've got coming up, or you can email it to yourself. So it's the way in which we ingest both Magic Roads and workouts is from the email account associated with your RGT account. You just attach them. So you attach the GPX file or you attach the workout, and then we'll flip it over, and within about 2 minutes, they're normally available for you to ride either a workout or a Magic Road. So yeah, 100% you can do custom workouts in RGT. We don't have a custom workout builder or anything like that right now, but there's loads of custom online workout builders. It's not really in our interest to kind of reinvent that right now. Certainly a lot of things you can go to help you with that. So yeah, do you want to pick a question, Mike?
Yeah, I think Manalika Lee from Instagram. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. How do I know which power source is the primary power source if I pair to more than one? So if you have a power meter and a smart trainer, and you're pairing to both the power meter and the smart trainer, we will read the power from the power meter.
Wait, what? Say that again.
So how do I know which power source is the primary power source if I pair to more than one? So I guess the user is asking if she's pairing to a power meter and a smart trainer at the same time. When you pair in RGT, you pair to the trainer and then to the power meter. We will read the power from the power meter. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. My turn. Should I pick one?
Yeah, let me ask you. One popular one is, I think people really enjoy Magic Roads, and deservedly so. It's awesome. It's an amazing thing. What are the plans for Magic Roads? Because I just don't want people. It's magic. I don't want our users to think that this is the final product. I want them to be more aware that this is an evolving project. It's never finished. We have certain plans for it in the future, but any insight on that, James?
Magic Roads is mega. I mean, personally for me, they flicked the way I rode indoors, and I'm comfortable with now riding alone, which some people aren't, and I can understand why. And with the bots on Magic Roads, if I've got any threshold efforts or anything like that to do, I'll just set the bots off and I'll ride with them. It's such a cool and interactive and pushy way to keep yourself going. And I've never not hit my training targets when I've used a Magic Road and a set of bots, because you just push so much harder. You don't get dropped. That's what you don't want to do. So you always hit your structured workout. You always hit your interval. In terms of what we've got planned for them, there's a couple of work streams that are ongoing. One of them is more active than the rest of them. So Magic Roads that align with your structured workout. So if you weigh 72 kilos, we know that at 500 watts, it will take you X amount of time to climb an altitude at a gradient of, and we can create a Magic Road based on your structured workout. This isn't like a mega active work stream right now, but it's something that it's constantly being talked about and how we do this. So basically your Magic Road becomes your structured workout. So you never have to look at that number again and get bored. Training hasn't changed in 5 years. Like Zwift did something great when they brought you into this immersive world. This was brilliant, but actually in 5 years, it hasn't changed. It's not improved at all. At Peloton, you have the coaches geeing you up. It's like a studio. It's not changed at all. There's no real immersion in that. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring immersion into training and really give people the opportunity to get involved and not want to miss an interval because they'll see a block turn black or red or whatever, but not want to miss an interval because they'll get dropped from a group of riders, or they won't make it to the top of the climb in time. So there's lots of things that we want to do with Magic Roads to really make them more exciting. And the other thing that is a more active work stream that looks good right now is that we have asset packs. So currently, the work that went into Magic Roads when we launched version 1.2, which when it went from the Tron background to having these virtual scenes with goats and grass and boulders and trees, that work, part of that work, took us longer than we expected because Matt, our technical director, he's in the matrix for a couple of days longer than we hoped he would be, because he made it so those virtual worlds could be any virtual world with a pack of assets. So instead of seeing green fields, you'd see plowed fields of Belgium, or deserts of South America, or whatever. So we create these packs, and when you choose to launch a Magic Road, you choose to launch them with a specific asset pack. So we do Alpine, we do Western Europe, so Belgium and Holland, or we do, like we said, desert, or we do Pyrenean or something like that. So essentially you have these asset packs and you can choose where you ride. And the next step beyond that incorporates LiDAR scanners, photogrammetry, working with bigger, much grander partners. It's a much slower discussion to have because there's so many moving parts to it. But, you know, ride the world. That's where the technology is for things like Flight Simulator. That's where investment should be going to build the market into these incredibly exciting ways to experience virtual cycling. It's almost virtual tourism. It can do so much for people's health and well-beings and getting them back on the platform. It's incredible. Like the opportunities that come from where money should be invested in virtual sport and virtual cycling, it's mind-blowing. There's some really cool stuff to come from it. And the reason that we believe in this over video is that with video, it's one directional. You get one view, that's it. You can't zoom out, you can't zoom in, you can't see a group of riders, you can't look behind you, you just get that one view. And that will change as video develops and so on. But right now, we believe that this is the place for us to continue to focus our efforts and develop Magic Roads. I talk way too much, so I'm really sorry to...
No, that was good. I mean, it was perfect. It's what people want to hear, that Magic Roads is, bam, going to be awesome. Yesterday, I'm not sure if you caught that in our chat that we have on our teams, but a user asked for a specific Magic Road that he signed up to an event. He signed up for a race event, but he wanted to train on that Magic Road. And I thought it was really cool that somebody's asking for a Magic Road so that they can train on when they've signed up to an event on a Magic Road that they will race on, which was like an athlete asking for a Magic Road for an actual road that they will race on. It was really, really cool, really neat stuff. Somebody wants to really get motivated and be first finishing in those events. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the use case for Magic Roads for training is crazy. You can experience the physical and psychological demands of that section of that real world event before you even get anywhere, before you even get on a plane if it's in another country. And it's anywhere. It's not just where someone's taking a video recorder. You can do any road, anywhere, anytime. I mean, the use cases are crazy. And overlaying things like best bike split data, which would be great to do, is time intensive, but you know, so you can create your race day conditions and understand how fast you can expect to go. The use cases for Magic Roads are crazy. We do have pro teams that use the platform that we don't talk with, we don't disclose who they are, that use it for time trial training. So for the time trials, for the big tours and for the big World Tour events, because on RGT the drafting is such that you don't just pedal around corners full bore, like cracking through. You have to stop and then get back up to speed, and that's something that's quite important for real world time trials, is that, you know, getting back up to speed from going, you're going 45k, you drop down to 20k to do a hairpin, and then you've got to get back up to 45k. We do that on the platform, and obviously on, you know, that doesn't recreate the race conditions if you don't do that. And that's why some of the pro teams now are starting to come to RGT, seeing that as a use case, thinking this is great. Also, you get the left and the right and the gradient changes, so they know what the course is going to be like. They experience that physical and psychological demand. I'll stop talking.
Make it better. We'll just keep making it better, okay? That's all you guys got to know. So kind of a side question. I think everybody wants to know this as well. Are there any new real road courses coming up soon?
Is that in our chat, or was that pre-asked questions?
From Instagram, Martinez Strongius.
Do you want to answer that? Did you know the answer to this? You do, don't you?
Yes. Next question.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Next question. Yeah. If you guys wanted to go to rgtcycling.com/blog, we've actually got a little insight into what we're doing in a blog called Roadworks. It's recently been updated as well with some refreshed images, and this is really interesting. I'm just going to post that in the chat now so you can see it. This is how we build a road and how we make that decision to produce the road, and then technically how we produce it. It's there. Take a look. You can see it. But yeah, and that will give you a clue as to what roads we're currently working on. And promise you,
sure.
one of them isn't a big epic climb. We recognise that there is a gap in our roads for a rolling and a good rolling road for good races. Paterberg's got a big punch. Cap's got a big punch. Pienza's got an awful climb. I resent that climb every time I ride it. Stelvio's long, Alps long. So we know we've got a gap in there for some sort of punchy course. So yeah,
we do have a lot of climbers on RGT, but certainly for people like me who just go up and down and kind of enjoy my ride, get the exercise in, this is the road that you're waiting for sure. You're going to enjoy it. Everybody will, but yeah.
Okay, let's have a look who else we've got on here. There's so many questions. I'm struggling with which one to pick.
Actually, we're getting quite a positive response. This is the first time I've ever done any live streaming. So James, don't if anybody finds me awkward, yeah, I'm awkward in real life too. I'm not too worried about it, but we're doing our best to answer as many as we can. And again, put a face on RGT. Go ahead, James. Did you find one or?
I did. So we've got one from Fraser. I think that's why did the Tour de France TT route disappear. So we wanted to flip the magic road and give our users the opportunity to ride something else. That was the Plans de Belfry. No. Where did Roglic go? Pogacar go crazy in the Tour de France? Planche de Belfi? I think it was. But anyway, I know which road that you're talking about, Fraser. You're absolutely right. It did disappear. We will put it back up.
Is it available? We can make it available for everybody on the Magic Road section, can't we? So they can access it on their own time.
I think it still is available. I think it still is available on Magic Road.
Yeah. We'll have to check. We'll check that for you and make it available on the list.
Yeah. Take another question from the pre-asked ones, I think. So
I got a good one.
Where are the
There's a pretty funny one from Discord. Well, you said ask us anything, so of course somebody would have to ask, what are the best decking screws to use in a high salt water location? It's stainless steel 316, but make sure you check the